So for those who definitely love doing it through Zoom, and thank you to Shannon Gronich who helps us connect and get all hooked up with this. So it looks like we're ready to start our November Chamber Chat. My name is Nancy Pelton, and I'm President and CEO of the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce. And today we have our guest, Adam Copenhaver, and he is with Linkio. So you are in for a treat. We don't have Keith this month, so look for him next month. He'll be back. Keith G with the Children's Hunger Project. So I'll go over a few things, though, that we have going on and what's coming up, and then we'll dive right into the topic today. I think you're all looking forward to that because I think we all wonder why some websites have much more traction than others with search engine optimization. Adam is going to discuss how to be the rock star in your industry and get higher up on the search. So anyway, starting though with what we have coming up. So tomorrow night we have our after hours mingle at Tuckaway Shores. If you have not been there, it is the most beautiful resort right on the beach. It's south of 192 on Miramar Avenue, so A1A. And we're going to have food and appetizers, drinks, and just a chance to relax and talk. And there might be some sea turtles because Deborah told me she saw some eggs in that this morning. So fingers crossed. It's a little cooler, so it'll be very nice. So that's tomorrow night from 5 to 7. And then we've got our marketing committee the next day. Normally I don't tell you all of this, but we do have, it's kind of slowing down, thank goodness, right before Thanksgiving. So we've got our marketing committee though Thursday morning, and then we have a ribbon cutting with Friendly Subs and more. And I keep hearing they have the best puddings. I didn't get to try them at the installation. They had them there. I missed the pudding, don't know how, but so you have to come for a ribbon cutting in Bayside Lakes, and that's Thursday from 5 to 7. And then Friday is our ambassador meeting and new member orientation. So one of the things that we realized is that people often get the new member package, put it in a drawer, and never look at it again. And they wonder why the chamber doesn't work for them or they didn't get anything out of the chamber. So our member orientation is Friday morning. It is here at the chamber from 10 to 11. You are able to bring your laptop and do your whole profile. So most of the time, people don't take the time. It's like you want to and you have best intentions, and it's just hard to get to it. So you actually can bring your laptop with you. Carolina can help you set up your profile, put in pictures, really fill it out so that you, once again, search engine optimization, put in great keywords. It's kind of perfect. So you can come Friday morning here to the chamber and we'll help with that. And then finally, our last Brevard Business Professionals of the year is next Tuesday. So it's at Riverview Senior Resort Living. I'm going to miss the last one. I'm very sad. But I know Shannon's a rock star and she is just going to knock it out of the park. And it's always great. She always has a directed networking event and activity. And it's just, it's a nice way to start in the morning right on the river. It's a thank you to Riverview Senior Resort Living. They were just wonderful to step up and host it there because it's, you start off the morning and it's so bright in there and you're looking at dolphins and you're looking at the water and it's like, how can you have a bad day when you start like that? It's just kind of awesome. And then for December, our big thing is always our monthly luncheon, first Wednesday of the month. So that's on the 4th. And we're having more of a celebration for the year. We'll have the carolers from Palm Bay Elementary come. Santa's going to visit. And Yellow Dog Cafe is cooking. So I think we have turkey and ham and their desserts. And I'm sure it's just going to be a whole festive. Just coming for that alone is worth it. So, but that's on the 4th. And then our final event of the year, because we won't get to tell you about it before our next chamber chat, is our open house, our holiday open house here at the chamber on the 13th. It goes from 11 to 6. We're going to have some entertainment this year. The multicultural networking group stepped up and said, yeah, we need entertainment. So we're adding that to the mix, but there'll be lots of food and drinks and just a nice time to sit and relax. And it's just all day. Like we used to have it, people would come for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just stay all day. Just stay, and you get to know people. Sometimes at events, it's hi, how are you, and you just never get a chance to talk to them. So that's just the perfect time. The one last thing to talk about too is our business directory and community guide. So if you are watching us and you are not a member of the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce, you want to get into the chamber by December 15th, I think was our cutoff date. because you will be listed in the guide. We print 10,000 copies the last 2 years. They were distributed to all the community centers in Palm Bay, the city of West Melbourne. Melbourne got some, the airport. We have them at hotels. So it gets your information out to more people than just the website. We find that a lot of people like the size of it. They keep it. It's just a handy reference guide. And it's got information on the cities. So Palm Bay, West Melbourne, Malabar, Granville, Cary. It's the only directory that has all that in there. So you want to be part of that. And we have our sponsorships out for next year, and that's just reflecting nicely. So I won't hold that up anymore, but we have all our events planned for next year. We're always open, though, to suggestions. I think that's one of the things with our chamber is that we're very flexible. So when people have great ideas, we give them a whirl, and sometimes they've been phenomenal. Like our Health and Wellness Expo, we're doing that again, and the disaster recovery, we're going to do that one again. That was fabulous. And we've got a few new ones with drone racing. That's going to be pretty exciting, I think. And what's our other new? Oh, our member product services auction. So we always have our marketing and media auction, advertising auction. Wonderful. It went so well, and we're thinking, well, why can't we have an auction for our member services and products? So like air conditioning, tuning up, and you know what I mean? So we haven't put that together yet. That's something to look forward to. Final thing, I know enough blah blah from Nancy, but this is the Space Coast salutes and our military. We have window clings, we have bumper stickers, and we are going to, because the Veterans Parade was rained out, we are going to distribute these at the Christmas party or Christmas parade because it has a military theme. Yeah, so that is, if you've never gone, it's so much fun. It's going to be December 7th. It's a lighted one, so it's 6 to 9 p.m. or 6:30 to 9 on Malabar Road. They close it off. It goes all the way from Eastern Florida to City Hall. So join us. If not, just come and get your window clings and bumper stickers at the chamber. We're open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, 4100 Dixie Highway Northeast, for those of you that don't know where the fabulous Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce is.
Soon to have a lit sign.
Soon to have a lit sign, yes. Just electricity's holding this up. Now we have the sign and everything. So without further ado, I am so thrilled to have Adam with us today. Adam, I have known him, oh my goodness, like I don't know, how long has it been? 5 years, 6?
I think it was around 2013 maybe, so yeah, about 6 years maybe.
And Adam has always he's just been an expert in this field. We had him come and we used to call it our entrepreneurial breakfast.
Yeah.
And you did a presentation all about social media there and YP. And so Adam really is an expert in this field. And so for him to take the time today to be with us for a whole hour and talk about how to affect your search engine optimization and make your website stand out. It's pretty exciting.
Well, I appreciate it.
I'm going to turn this over to you, and I'll jump in with a few things, but I'll let you just run with it.
Well, I really appreciate it. You've been incredible to the community and to me as well, so I applaud you and everything you're doing here at the Greater Palm Bay Chamber. We have become a trustee member of the Chamber, and it has been just a complete blessing to our company. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
But yeah, today we want to talk about how to better position your website on Google. And, Google's the biggest player in the industry when it comes to finding things, places, events. Google has about 90% market share. So when you're going to look up something online, 9 out of 10 times you're going to look it up on Google. So it is an important piece of any business in 2019 going into 2020. And so although it's complex, there are ways that you can better position your business. And so today what I was going to talk about is the areas of Google, because there are paid sections.
Okay.
And there are what we call natural or unpaid sections. And so basically, I'll start with just a brief explanation of SEO and SEM, or sometimes known as SEA. So these are all fun acronyms that you may have heard before.
No, I haven't heard of SEM. I've heard of just SEO. And what was the other one you did, SEA?
SEA, so search engine advertising. That encompasses search engine marketing and a few other things. So yeah, So we'll start basically with SEO, search engine optimization.
Okay.
There's really a few main components to your website and what makes a powerful website when it comes to ranking. We refer to it as the ABCDs of Google.
Okay.
I jokingly say that's because it's never ending and always changing. So they're always adding something to the alphabet. But really it comes down to a few key components. The A would really be the architecture of the website.
Okay.
Google wants to see a website that is built using best practices, built in a way that they can determine in a very quick, effective way what you do, who you serve, and where you serve your customers.
Really?
Yes. So think of it like if I were to call a realtor to sell my home.
Okay. Yeah.
And the realtor came to my home and they realized, wow, I walk in the front door and I'm in the garage. And then, we go into the kitchen and all the bedrooms are upstairs and the kitchen's upstairs as well. Little unorthodox, right? Well, that realtor may agree to sell my home for me, but most likely it's going to end up on the bottom of their list because they're going to need that unorthodox buyer, right?
Right. Yes. Okay.
So
makes sense.
Think of your website as your digital house for your business. And that needs to be built in a very concise, effective way so Google can effectively get in your website,
right,
determine what you do, who you serve, and where,
right,
and then tell others. So that's the architecture piece. It's a little confusing, but if you think about it like a foundation, if your foundation is strong, the rest of the project's going to be strong on top of that.
Now, a lot use WordPress just because it seems to be the easiest one and, kind of user-friendly. So do you find that that's a good platform or?
It's definitely a very popular and tried and true platform. So I would say for a lot of business owners that are trying to do things on their own, maybe they've got a side project or a startup project that they don't know that they're going to commit long-term to. They can use WordPress as a powerful tool to build a site for themselves to test things. They even have the ability to do blogging and things like that through WordPress. So they've grown their offering over the years as well. And we find that if you're compatible with WordPress and you understand it, then you can kind of make your way around when it comes to putting together a simple website. Because again, I want to make that kind of clear too. I think that websites are not all created the same.
Oh, definitely not.
And so you have a wide spectrum of everything from I built this myself in a couple of hours through a tool like WordPress or GoDaddy, to a company like Linkio, for example, with over 20,000 clients and nearly 700 employees. We're launching several hundred websites a month.
Wow.
So I think it's important to kind of differentiate that. And sometimes I hear people say, hey, I got a website made by a friend of mine. It's been working for me, but it's not where I want to be anymore. So,
well, and don't you find too that some people, back in the day, it was $5,000 to $7,000 to $10,000 for a decent website, and you're kind of like, for the small business person. And sometimes they're still saying that. Whereas with Linkio, you really are there and affordable for, I'd say, most businesses.
Yeah, we have really found a very effective model, and really we're a streamlined international company. And so we put people in positions in the right places around the world so that we can be effective. And, someone said to me the other day, a colleague of mine that's not even a Linkio employee, he said, the sun never sets on Linkio.
That's true. Thought, yes.
What a cool, I've heard that analogy before.
Well, that's the British Empire, but that's okay.
Right, exactly.
It does now. No, maybe not. But we have to do some shout outs before we go on, because I know I kind of cut you in the middle of yours. So Tommy, hello, Boniface Hires, and we have Amy Wendell, yes, with Aloha Maintenance. So Amy, they just won our Small Business of the Year award. So thank you, Aloha Maintenance, for joining us. And I won't read the rest of Tommy's stuff because, he goes off on tangents, and that one was like, okay, not appropriate for prime time. So we'll move along.
Yeah.
But back to then the different types. So the SEO, the SEM, and the SEO.
So aside from the architecture, if you just understand it as your digital storefront, storefront.
Okay.
As important
Yes.
as your actual retail store is, or your warehouse or your shop,
Right.
think of your website as important on the digital side.
Oh, sure.
So once you have that architecture in a best practices format where Google can quickly determine what you do, who you serve, and where, they can tell others. Now, I do want to mention Google is not the internet. Okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah. So Google has done an incredible job of finding and identifying billions of pages online
Yes.
and connecting them through what a lot of people refer to as spiders or crawling the web. Bots. Yes. Yes. Back in the old days, they call them Google bots. They just shorten everything.
Yes. Yes.
But what they've done is they have followed the second piece, or the B in the ABCDs, backlinks from one site to another, and they've connected the dots. So, for example, the chamber is an incredible way, as each member joins the chamber,
Yes.
they get a page within the chamber's website that is dedicated to them. They know how many views they get and so forth.
Right.
That backlink to their website is a very powerful indicator to Google. Hey, they're reputable. They're attached to other reputable organizations. Yeah. And so what Google has done is essentially crawled the web, followed billions of backlinks, and made a library of sorts. And so when you search Google, you truly are not searching the entire internet, but you're searching a lot of it. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
And those backlinks are very vital because they become part of what they call site popularity.
Okay.
Which falls into like reviews and follows and likes and these kinds of things in social media.
Well, and I think, as you said about the chamber, I think that helps with their search engine optimization for their websites, because sometimes I would say more traffic comes to the chamber pages than maybe individual businesses.
Certainly.
And so when we look at the traffic, because we can look in for each individual member, you know, and how many people viewed it, how many went right to their websites, you know, how many, and it's incredible, kind of the reach that it provides through the chamber, because we are ranked fairly highly, because I mean, we didn't know anything. So when Jeff came and he was explaining things, and he said, no, you're amazing, like, and for our little size. And it was like, okay, that's great. So having a company like Linkio that can get you noticed is worth every penny, because so many spend money, time, and effort doing things, first of all, that they're not really doing things that they're not really, it's their skill set, so it takes them 5 times as long. It's not as good as having a professional do it.
Right.
It's not set up for the proper viewing. It's not as attractive, and it's not really maintained.
Right.
And that's the biggest challenge. You think, oh yeah, the website's done, and then you don't look at it for, you know, a year or two, and that doesn't help with your rankings. So
yeah, at Linkio, we believe that you know, we've been working with Google for the last 19 years.
Wow.
And we believe that a website without traffic really serves no purpose. So if you think of it in a more traditional setting, think of a billboard.
Right.
You pay for prime location so that you can get the right kind of traffic passing your billboard.
Right.
If you sell a particular product that you know there's a high density of that, you know, maybe it's a certain type of food, and you can put yourself in a higher probability that, hey, our restaurant's going to be in a very, you know, great neighborhood for this type of food.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself a better chance, a better shot. And so a lot of times when someone builds a website, you need to ask questions about the maintenance and service of that website moving forward. Yeah. Edits, changes, updates. You're also going to want to know about what is the traffic guarantee, what is going to be happening, what's coming to my website.
Do you think most website designers even offer that?
I don't believe that any really do. I believe that they offer marketing and they offer different services.
Right.
But what we look at Linkio is, what good is this website if it's not kept up to date, maintained, kept up to date with your business, and as your business changes, and driving new consumers looking for your products or services.
Wow.
Because if I know you by name, I'm going to jump through hoops to find you.
Right, but
businesses grow when they find customers just looking for their solution.
Got ya.
And we
Okay.
put them in front of them in that way.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think that's important to ask some good questions when you're considering a website. And I think it's something to consider. When I came into the industry in around 2003, there were 3 or 4 updates a year from Google. And it was a big to-do, and they had conferences hosted around these things. Last year, Google reported over 2,500 updates.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, the business owner that wants to go it alone is okay to do that, but just know there's a lot of things coming at you.
Well, even Sherry Martin with WCN Interactive, who is a guru for Google, said, you know, she is the guru, goes to bed, and the next morning it's like learning it all over again. You know, okay, what they update, what they change, and that's a challenge. So if you're thinking she is the queen in the industry, and yet she needs to look at what they've done every day. Right. I mean, for the average person, it's not even a thought process. We have to do another, like, shout out Heidi Lember, TD Bank. Yay, Heidi. We haven't seen her. She was a trustee and on our board before, so thank you for joining us. So I do digress. I mean, it seems like I'm schizophrenic, but you know, when people are on there, we like to do the shout outs, and sometimes we see people asking questions online, so we want to respond. So if you have any, write it in Facebook, but yeah, so I think Adam has a really good point about there are reasons why you hire an expert to do these things. Yeah. And as much as, you know, there's all sites, I mean, we all do it. It depends on what you're interested in. So some people think, oh, I can print my own business cards, and they get the Avery labels and they make their own business card. Others think, no, I need a professional looking business card. Let me get the pros to design one and print one. So it just depends on where you are in your business, the image you want to project, and the return on your investment that you want to have. Because if you are having a website with absolutely no traffic, the time, money, and energy you spend building it and maintaining it is not doing anything for you.
Right. If you think of it like a general contractor, again, going back to that physical building, a renovation, an upgrade to your business, you would check licensing, insurance, you would maybe check you know, past clients. And a lot of times it's unfortunate, but a website, people just consider maybe what's the cheapest.
Right.
And, and then a lot of times that may not serve their needs.
Right.
But it will check a box to give them a website.
Right.
For their referrals.
Right.
But it's very difficult for a new client that's never heard of your business, that's searching for the product or service that you offer, to find you.
Well, do you think a lot of people don't even know how to look at analytics to see how well their website's actually doing?
For sure. And if a lot of times the marketing company that you're working with or the web development company, they provide those analytics. And so Google Analytics is an excellent way to have, I guess, a third party in a way, Google, telling you who's coming and going from your website, what are they clicking on, and details that can help you better position your company. I think that regardless of data, you have to use some summation of, okay, here's our trends. It may not be an exact formula, but these are the trends that tend to show based on our web traffic. Okay. And when we talk about, you know, being more competitive and getting to that first page ranking in Google, after the backlinks and really connecting ourselves to highly credible organizations and other companies that we do business with, we want to really consider the content of our website.
Okay.
One of the things that's really shocking is when I sit in front of a lot of business owners, I'll do a simple Control F and I'll type in what they do. Plumber, painter. If you teach English classes, I'll type in English classes. And 80% of the time, those words are never said in their website. So when we talk about that library of Google, Google's putting that library together based on keywords within the content of your website, title tags, you know, indicators of what you do. It should tell a clear story of what you do when someone comes to your website.
Sure.
And so at Linkio, part of our job is to provide the highest quality content possible, so that Google, again, Google is the key to the castle here, sees the content as relevant and then connects the dots to the geography here in Brevard County. So not only do you have to have the keyword terminology of what your industry is, but you need to have the cities and locales that you serve to connect the dots to Google.
You may have to repeat that sentence, that Linkio provides content.
Yes, that's another huge thing.
Most people are like, oh, my website's not up because I didn't get the content to the developer. So you guys actually do content.
Yeah, so at Linkio,
it's like an infomercial, but it's really good.
Well, you know,
you guys do really. I think I wanted you on so much because you are so affordable and can make such a difference for so many businesses. And so many things stop people from having a good website because they think of the time, the effort, you know, oh man, I have to write all the content. I don't have time, you know, like, and what do I write? And sometimes, depending on their skill set, writing isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? And so that seems like a hurdle in itself. So you guys actually
Yep. So at Linkio, we have approximately 30 full-time copywriters.
Wow. Okay.
And so
that's awesome.
They write technical content for your website. And if you think about it, when we were younger, we were trying to get a job somewhere. We brought our resume.
Yes.
And they gave it a 4 or 5 second once over.
Right.
Those recruiters, those hiring managers are trained to look for specific keywords.
True.
And so Google, if you think of it as like a glorified recruiter or
great analogy
you know,
you're using here today.
Well, and I think it's the easiest way to tell the story of how this works, because it doesn't have to be technical.
Right.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on is transparency and being on a clear basis with our clients, explaining things in a everyday terms.
Nice. Nice.
So that content, and the reason we have those writers is because you're right. I've met so many business owners that tell me that they paid for a website and it's been months and they haven't been able to come up with the right words. And I always ask them, you know, if it's a plumber, I always say, oh, you're a plumber and a writer? Because you're right. What do I talk about? I know the job, I know the technical skills, but I don't know what Google's looking for.
Right.
And that's what really is important, you know, and that's how we're able to get those rankings and really drive business to local business owners that may have been overlooked by Google's algorithm without the right you know, architecture and backlinking and content. So
and that's part of the service that's provided with just I don't want to say with just a basic design, but really the package is you providing content and doing the whole website, and they don't have to, I mean, besides their basics, which usually you can get off usually Facebook or something that they already have, then for an owner, it really is. They're just giving it to you. Obviously, they give the okay, or if there's things they wanted added in, but really, you guys take care of it all.
Yes, and a lot of times you were right. The pain of their first or second experience with a website really, it deters them from wanting to build a website that's going to last their business. There have been versions of websites, there have been versions of the internet, you might say. You might compare it to like our cell phones. We're now 5G, right? We didn't start there.
No, we did not.
So website design has changed as well to, you know, at Linkio, we only build responsive websites. That's another major part of that architecture piece that we discussed. So whether you're on a tablet, iPhone, Android, or a desktop computer, the site is going to respond to the device.
Okay.
So you'll never have to pinch and zoom. Have you ever had to do that where you can't read a website? Yeah. So you're trying to zoom in on.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. That's just another element of the evolution of websites that we've seen happen over the years. And at Linkio, we really were a forerunner in the responsive design. We really started that around 2008.
Wow. Okay.
And, you know, as we see now, Google, depends on which report you read, but about 85% of Google searches are done on a smartphone.
Right.
So if a business owner isn't showing up properly on a mobile device, they might really be hurting their business. And so a lot of these things are just bases that we would cover and talk about. You know? And another piece of the website that's very important, aside from the content, is actually their domain. So the URL or the name that you type in to get to their business. Google considers that as part of seniority, if you will. So the longer a website URL has been in existence,
that makes
more
sense.
Credibility. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like you want the experienced plumber when you're
Right.
It's flooding.
Oh, they go,
right?
oh, he started yesterday. Yay.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and nothing, I mean, businesses have to start sometimes, but yeah, that does make sense that they're
Yes.
looking for, because I think there are so many that just kind of come and go. And it is, I mean, Google is trying to make sure their credibility is there as well. So,
Yeah. Google is only concerned about providing the highest relevant and lately over the past few years, the closest to us.
Okay.
So when we do a Google search, most often you're going to get the closest result with the highest relevancy. So it may not be the best anymore. It may just be the closest that is really good.
Okay.
And so what part of our job is also to do is make sure that Google knows you service potentially clients throughout all of Brevard County, but your physical brick and mortar may be in Palm Bay.
Right.
If you do nothing at all, Google will only potentially show you in Palm Bay.
Okay.
So that aspect of SEO really comes into play, is looking at those cities that you do business in and those areas. And again, letting Google know through your website where you do business and with who.
Right.
So, kind of just to summarize, because I know it's been a little confusion, if you will, but really the three main areas that you could say that SEO break into is technical elements. So when we talk about the architecture, the domain, the crawlability, basically, are you complying with Google's rules? We have the content, so that's not only going to include the actual verbiage, but the keyword density, or what they call HTML ratio. Also, those things like the title tags and meta tags that tell Google what page to send an individual to.
Right.
And then lastly, SEO really comes down to site popularity as well. When we talk about backlinks, making sure that we have quality links to our Facebook page, for example, our Google My Business, and to our chamber membership here at the Greater Palm Bay Chamber. That's a really powerful backlink that's going to help our website.
So do you think that's something, because I'm not sure that's something that we've stressed at our new member orientation, about making sure there's a link from their website to their page on our chamber page?
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Okay.
It really is behooving of both sides, because now Google finds another credible resource out of your outbound, and then they get the return backlink saying, hey, we're connected to this great organization.
And they might be doing that already in the trainings, and I don't know, but I'm sure Carolina knows the stuff, but I'm like, you know me, I'm like, oh, really? That's cool.
Right.
Are we doing that? Yeah. So, but that's, I think, good to know, because I think, it's just another benefit of being part of a chamber to give you that extra reach, and it's connected to your website with ours. So, I mean, might as well utilize whatever you can.
If you think of it in a digital space, I mean, we joined the chamber to build our network and to become more credible.
Right.
When Google's looking at credibility, they want to look at a piece of that being, who are you connected to? Who are the backlinks that your website have go to?
Right.
And that is simply kind of encompasses what we call the natural or the unpaid section of Google. It really is majority made up of SEO, and 50% of that typically ends up what we call on-site factors, and 50% is off-site. So 50% is in the physical construction of your website, for example. Okay. And the other 50%, is really to do with those things like backlinks, things like blogging can help you. And it doesn't have to be daily or weekly like a lot of people think. A quarterly, a biannual, or annual blog. What makes a blog powerful is where it is picked up. So who sends you a backlink as a thank you?
Okay. Well, so if I don't have to, but I write articles for Everything Brevard. I've done it for We Venture with Florida Today. So I've never put those into our website. We post them on Facebook and things like that, but those really should go into our website, like have a maybe article posting.
Yeah, if you have the ability to have an in the news section maybe, or what I always recommend is, again, we're dealing with the 800-pound behemoth, Google.
Right.
I just recently read a stat. They're now processing 63,000 searches per second worldwide. So here's the thing I would say. if you're trying to rank on Google, Google owns other companies like YouTube and a lot of other companies, but one of the ones they own is Blogger.
Oh.
So if you want to blog and you want to rank highly, it would behoove you to use a Google product.
Okay.
Because Google is going to then push that out to their other products and their other outlets.
And does Blogger, can you connect that to your website, or is that okay?
It actually is. You can just blog on Blogger and actually keep a live feed to your website, or you can post it to social media. There's others out there too.
Sure.
And again, I just say Blogger because I know it's a Google tool.
Yeah, makes sense.
They like it, obviously, and they push it out to people. So
the fact that we said Google 900 times on this, will this help with this getting a really
it might, or we're gonna get some more targeted ads from Google, right?
Okay.
But yeah, and then the SEO piece of it, when you're looking at a Google search, you're going to see ads at the top and at the bottom.
Right.
And in the middle, there is a map section sometimes, but then there's 10 positions.
Oh.
That 10 positions in the middle is SEO.
Okay.
That is where you're going to have to fight with the Yelps and the aggregators, the directories, as well as the national chains. If you're a restaurant, you're going to have to fight with the chain restaurants and the franchises. But then also that's the area that our local business owners have the ability to compete as well. Now that paid section breaks up into a couple different types of things. For our home services contractors out there, for any of our business owners that go into the home or the business, so your painter, your cleaning service, your carpet flooring installers, things like this, Google now has what they call Google Guaranteed, or local ads. They're local services, they call it. So this is something we refer to as cost per lead. So if you think of guys out there, ladies out there, if you own those contracting companies, the old Home Advisor, Angie's List, where you get charged a set amount for the lead, whether you get the business or not. Google has now gotten into the business of guaranteeing the work that's being done.
Wow.
So they will actually background check your employees, check your licensing, check your reviews. Sort of, yeah. And if I'm a homeowner and I'm, for whatever reason, dissatisfied, Google will either get the job fixed or they will refund my money.
Holy moly, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. A lot of contractors really dislike it.
I bet they
I've
do.
heard some negativity about it.
They do.
Google's getting anywhere from $5 to $139 per lead.
Holy moly.
Yeah, it depends on the competition in the area, the size of the city. Now, outside of home services, outside of our contractors, those ads aren't there. So we're still lucky in a way.
For now.
We could do a whole nother chamber chat on what I think the future of Amazon home services and Google home services looks like. Yeah, if it were up to them, you would call them for everything.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I try to shop local, but I have to read this because this is for you. But I'm trying to see more, and I can't. There we go. Okay, so Tom Macarello is our top fan. Yes, so he gets the little diamond. You got the diamond there, Tommy. So he said, "Great advice, Adam. You're hitting on some excellent points that have long been confusing and complicated to understand for us as business operators. I appreciate today's webinar very much."
That's wonderful.
So thank you, Tommy, for. So I know I always call him Tommy. I have since I've met him. I don't know why, but
that's all right.
Tom. Well, and I think that the more everything is and goes online, I mean, the more that this stuff is really important. And I think the people understanding that, because otherwise, if you are kind of at the bottom of a ranking now, you're not getting to the top if you don't take some action.
A lot of times that's a tough conversation when someone's been in business for 10 or 12 years, and I ask them the question, you've had your website for X number of years, it's not ranking now. What do you think would change that?
Right. Yeah.
And really, that
you happy with that?
I don't know a simpler way to say it, but it really comes down to a pay to play
Sure.
on Google.
Sure.
So what we discussed earlier in the chat was all about SEO, all about what we call natural referencing or unpaid.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a little misleading. It's you still invest in it, but it's not a pay per click or a pay per lead.
Okay.
It's more of you're buying into a traffic program.
Oh, okay.
So Google,
Explain that, yeah.
There's an algorithm, a math problem. Google gets a set rate for traffic in every industry.
Wow.
So for example, I'm searching for a restaurant in the area. There's a certain rate that traffic costs for restaurants. Plastic surgeon, painter, plumber, lawyer, and conveniently Google correlates that to your average client worth.
Oh.
So our private or our personal injury attorneys out there, they're paying hundreds of dollars sometimes per click.
Wow.
As where a bakery may maybe pay $1.
Well, that makes sense because if they're getting settlements of, $100,000 or 700 or $500, $100 is just a drop in the bucket if they get that client.
And
Whereas
you notice those businesses, they tend to advertise more.
Yes.
They need more business coming in and they make a higher.
Well, I remember back in the day with the actual yellow page, somebody had told me that Morgan always wanted that back page, and it was $1 million just for the one issue or whatever of. And
I know, I've heard that, and I heard that he had a lot of those phone books around the state and around the Southeast. But I think he's probably, if you've noticed recently, gone very much digital with all of his marketing.
Of course, and you see all the other ones following.
Yeah.
They're all in their heads.
And really just, when we talk about those paid ads on Google, that is a way if a business owner needs faster results, because SEO can take 3 to 6 months to start seeing results.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you're in a hyper competitive market in a really dense city, for example, you might see a 6 to 12 month period.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The SEO is a tried and true process, but it does take time.
Okay.
Now, as long as it takes to show up on the first page, it can take to fall back off.
Oh.
So I run into a situation quite often where I'll search for something and a business owner will tell me, well, that used to be my competition, but they're actually out of business. But Google hasn't slowly taken them down yet.
Wow.
So on the paid side, you have the opportunity to set a budget monthly.
Okay.
And the ads, or what's known as Google Ads, it is a blind auction system.
Okay.
Where we have no idea what others are willing to invest, only what we're willing to invest.
Oh,
so Google gives us tools that we can show a business owner. They're actually open to the public.
Okay.
Anybody can go to ads.google.com and take a look at this.
Okay.
But it'll tell you in your particular city and the radius that you serve, for example.
Right.
Here is on the low end to the high end what other competitors of yours are investing to Google.
Wow.
It just won't tell you who, but a lot of times that's not as important.
No. But I mean, I don't know a lot of business owners that are doing that.
Yeah. A lot of times when I sit with businesses, they're more accustomed to someone in my role coming in saying, this is what you should buy.
Right. Yes.
Or this is what you should invest, spend, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
We take a very consultative approach, show you how the search engines work. Why are you going to rank when you're not now?
Right.
What's the purpose of a new website, for example?
Right.
If you're ranking and you like your website and you're able to update it, I would never recommend that you get a new website.
Sure.
But if your website is not able to be salvaged, if you will, if it's no longer doing what it was intended to do, we can very inexpensively replace it with a very high quality website that is built to rank. And we do that a lot for business owners, but a lot of times it may just be some advice that they need.
Right.
It may be that connection in the community that results in the job that they've been waiting to land. So we really look at it, and that's why we really are really appreciative. Sorry to take a sidestep back to the chamber, but we look at it from a community basis. We know we're not going to be able to help everyone.
Sure.
But we can help them in some way, whether it be a connection, a referral to the chamber, or through one of Linkio's offerings.
Well, and you have multiple ways to work with people. So you can just build a website, and then some of them don't want after help, which is odd, but you can just do that. Or you can have where you build the website for a much less price, but then there's like a year or 2 year or 3 year kind of contract that they can have. So how does that work?
Yeah, so we're very flexible at Linkio. We have everything from month-to-month agreements to 36-month agreements.
Okay.
I will say in the web world, if you will, in our realm as a digital marketing agency, 36-month agreements tend to be the norm for websites a lot of times. And if you go to other companies like GoDaddy or some of these, you'll see they present you with a 36-month option.
Right.
But we have all the way down to, like I said, month-to-month, 12-month, 24-month. Okay. It's really based on a couple things, where the company is at in their life cycle, and what the need is for us. In that case, like you said, someone may just want a website.
Right.
We may maintain and keep it, managed for them for the first year, and they may be able to take it from there. Right. Now, I will say most of our clients tend to stay with us for the long term once they see how easy it is.
Right.
But, it really is on a case-by-case basis of how we can best fit into your life as a business owner, and if it's a two-way street,
And so explain the content. So you guys have writers that are able to make the website. So then in order to update things on somebody's website, how would they do that, or how often would they look at the website?
So we're always reviewing things and monitoring, but I would say most of my clients send in changes occasionally, as they get a new employee, maybe they need to add a new bio, they've completed a new project and they want to put it into their gallery. Those are the things that really help us maximize the relationship with Google, because as Google sees we're adding new content, new photos, new pages even to your site, it drives them crazy and they have to come see what's new.
Oh, so I know that's the chamber. We need to update ours more often. Oh, and I'm swirling. PK, hey PK, and we've got Troy Ford. Thank you for joining us. Hey Troy. So that's one of the things that I think we don't update ours often enough. And looking back, I've been trying to get at it for so long. It's just another job, and I think that's what a lot of entrepreneurs find. Like, you have this laundry list of stuff to do, and it's like, I'll get to that. It's functioning, it's good, but I think even just having probably a meeting with you so that you can look at their website and you can tell, them what their ranking is and, improvements and stuff. And so that's some of the things that you do, like
it's I know marketing is a scary thing for a lot of people and they feel like they've been, there, done that, tried that. What I'll say is this: not all marketing is designed to do the same job. Not all websites are built equally, if you will.
That's true.
And so we sit down as a consultative educational approach and we say, here's what Google's looking for. Here's the best practices. Here's what we've seen success over the last 19 years with, and our clients have seen success. And then we do an audit of what they have.
Okay.
And that can be everything from full-blown, we sat with someone yesterday, $60,000 a month marketing budget. It can be the business that's been around for a couple of years and they don't even consider themselves to have a marketing budget. And really, we just explain the competition. We explain the investment that's going to generate the result they're looking for.
Right.
A lot of our clients are looking for something simple.
Right.
And they need to just slowly, steadily grow their business.
Okay.
But they're not ready for or looking for the door to spin off, unhinge. But at the same time, that company that is established or looking to very eagerly grow, they can very much be accommodated by the offering that we have. We're a very well-established company, and we offer quite a bit within targeted marketing. So we can talk about that more.
Okay.
But I think that when it comes to ranking on Google, what's really important is if you know what Google's looking for, you can make a push to get there. You don't have to do everything overnight.
Right.
I meet with a lot of business owners that once they have a plan, once they know what they need, then they can determine how long it's going to take for them to save to get there or whatever the case is. The other thing is, we were founded by a small business owner, and he understands the importance of keeping the lights on and having a family. And so we always work with very low payment structures, monthly payments. We don't ask for lump sums of money ever. Wow. And we really are able to, with their permission, we sign an agreement and we start moving, and then the deposit payments come later, So when it comes to Google, it is confusing. There are a lot of smoking mirrors. I would say for you guys out there that are getting calls from Google, be very careful and be diligent about that, because anyone can say they're affiliated to Google. Anyone can pay, $50 online and take an exam and be Google certified. But a lot of times what I find is those calls are actually calling to get money from you from things that are free. Like setting up your Google My Business page. That's an important thing to do, so that ideally those calls stop, because they see, hey, this person's heavily on top of their page, they're active, they're not going to be able to be tricked by us into paying for this because they know it's free.
So can you search somebody else's website by just putting going into that Google My website and seeing your competitions?
Yeah, the thing about it is there's a couple tools out there that will show you, for example, we use a tool called SpyFu. Has nothing to do with Linkio. Yeah, it's like Kung Fu. SpyFu. Okay. They look at two things: how much traffic comes to your website naturally or through SEO, and then how much traffic comes to your website through paid ads or SEM. A lot of business owners are very shocked when they see that no traffic is coming to their website. Other than referrals.
And that's how they can get targeted, because somebody's doing that search on their site, and then that guy calls them.
And they may know that this is a very low traffic site. They haven't claimed their Google My Business information correctly. Let's try to call them and get $150 out of them. And it's usually small increments of money, but there's no reason for our local business owners to get caught
pay
up
for something free. Yeah. Well, then we have, I'm sorry, we're leaning close, and I was a little squirrely because there was a guy with a helmet on that was running up US 1 there. I was like, what the heck is that
guy?
I
think he was driving a scooter and he dropped something.
Oh, did he? Oh,
he had to pick it up.
I was like, okay, he had the helmet on. I was like, okay, what's he running around? We do have the most awesome view here. I just have to tell you, every time, I looked all distracted because you can see the birds flying by. We're looking at Palm Bay, the actual why it's called Palm Bay, and it is just absolutely spectacular. And so we do get distracted, or well, I do. You were right on target. So we have like 5 minutes left.
Okay.
So if you could say maybe first 2 steps that somebody should do to maybe look at their website to see how they're ranking, and then see, I need to call Adam.
I would recommend, and again, guys, at Linkio, we use all tools that are open to the public. So we don't have anything to hide. We want to be very transparent. So if I were you, I recommend visiting website.grader.com. And that will actually give your website a physical score from 0 to 100.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's out by a company called HubSpot, and they put that out for free.
Wow.
What I would say is it's a tool. You can take it for what it is. It's not 100% accurate, but not many things that are free. You definitely, get what you pay for. But it gives you an idea of the 4 areas that we discussed today. Where are you weak? For example, if your website does not have an SSL certificate or a security certificate, you automatically will lose 10 points from that score, because Google last summer it said, you know what, everyone has to have a secure website now. Because any data going back and forth needs to be securely transferred. Website.grader.com, and just simply copy and paste or type your URL in there. The other one I may check if I were you is spyfu.com.
I like that.
You can do a couple searches. They try to get you to sign up for an account, but they're free accounts. They just want to be able to market to you. And then lastly, if you're a little more technical, you can check out ads.google.com.
Okay.
And that'll give you the information on how many people are looking for you in the area.
Wow.
So if I am a pediatric doctor, I can look specifically for that.
Oh, great.
If I am a bakery, if I'm a cleaning service, I can look at just, say, residential, if I only do residential. And it'll actually tell you, hey, in this area, X number of people are looking for you monthly.
Okay.
And you can then, lastly, guys, just go on someone else's computer or phone and search for what you do in the city you do it.
Okay.
And another big trick that Google plays is cached results. So you're seeing your website, you're seeing your business, because you look for it all the time.
True. That's true. Yeah.
So clear your cookies, or go to a friend or neighbor and search on their computer. And see the difference.
That's smart.
It's eye-opening sometimes.
Okay, now I think sometimes people are scared off by the price of what websites could be, and I know that you don't have, it's not one size fits all.
Right.
But if you could say,
our website pricing is very standard, and I can.
Okay, so then share that with us.
So, like you said,
I think it's good.
There are companies here in the area. Their going rates are $6,000 to $10,000 for a website.
Yeah.
At Linkio, our price is $2,000. Wow. And we have a new client incentive where they can even save 50% off of that. So
holy moly!
Yeah, it's it really is a very effective, streamlined company. And what we find is that if you're happy, your business is growing, you naturally will need more of our services.
Right.
And so we are not looking to gouge anyone. We're not looking for anything that's more than is required.
Right.
It takes a certain amount of money to build a website.
Right.
And that's not $10,000.
Kind of sounds like the chamber. We feel that, we provide services, and then as your business grows, you'll grow with us. So becoming more involved, or trustees and that kind of thing. So, well, this was amazing information, Adam. Thank you so much for being on here. And so if somebody, you can always call the Greater Palm Bay Chamber of Commerce. You know that we give out referrals and that, but if they wanted to get in touch with you directly, how would they do that?
Sure. Yeah. They can call 321-541-9036.
Okay.
Or you can drop by our office in Rockledge. It's 1264 US 1, Suite 101. It's in the Ideal Real Estate Building in the Brevard Professional Center.
Nice. And like I said, if you forget all of this, just call the chamber. We'll be more than happy to provide the referral for Adam. And really, this was very informative, because I think, you really demystified a lot of the Google. Just seems like it's, everybody says, oh, good, just Google it. I mean, it's an action thing, like we're Googling it, but don't really understand it. And so thank you for helping us with that, because it really was great.
Well, and I will get in trouble if I forget to mention, visit linkiospacecoast.com. That is our site here in Central Florida. And again, Linkio is Linkeo. So linkiospacecoast.com.
Perfect. And you can go on our website, because their link to their website will be on ours. So as a trustee. So thank you for joining us on this month's Chamber Chat. Our next one will be, it's always the third Tuesday of every month, and it's going to be from 2 to 3 as always. Keith G will be back with me, and I don't think we've come up with a topic yet to be determined, but it's always going to be fun and informative. So thank you all for joining us today, and we'll look forward to seeing you in December.